Okay, now basically what we're going to do now is do a slice. A good option for using a slice would be using a sphere, where we're going to use shell again. So we click on the sphere. You can make a sphere any size, it doesn't matter. We have our sphere, we gotta go to our modify, solid editing, shell. You select the sphere. You can't really unselect the face because the face is the whole entire. On the 9th, yeah, so it's 5 days. So once you have that selected, you click enter or space. You're gonna give it a thickness. I'm using 0.5, and then escape to get out of the command. You can see that it's completely different from what was before. So if I have a, well, actually it's the same thing. Looks the same. Hopefully it worked. All right, we have our sphere. We have it shelled. I think it worked. If it didn't, we can always check over here. Sphere, no. Solid editing completed. Enter body. Yeah, it completed it, so it looks like it worked. What we can do to check if it actually worked is to slice it. Now, slice only works on the x and y coordinates. So my x and y here. So I would have to draw a line of slicing diagonally. So I go to slice command, which is over here in your home slice, or you can go to modify, 3D operations, and slice. You select that command, you select your object, that's what it's asking for, like so, enter, and you draw a line across it. Oops. I hope I made it. There it goes. Sliced it right in that line. Now if I move one of the objects, I can use the red arrow here, or you can use the move command, and you can 3D rotate and see that it is empty, but it has that 1/2 inch thickness. So I made a bowl. Now let's say if I didn't do the shell and a regular sphere, there we go, and I'm going to slice that one. So you slice command, and I move over that, you can see that, oops, it's solid, completely solid. It doesn't have any shell like this one. And then at this point, if you wanted to, you could do the shell, but that gives you an extra step because you would have to do both of them. You have to do one at a time. Shell does not select more than one object. That's the only thing. So if I do go to modify, 3D solid editing, shell, and select one, so it won't let me select the other one at all. I can remove this face, enter, 0.5, enter, escape. So I got the same thing, except of course this sphere was bigger than that one. So. Okay. For this, I want you guys to pick one type of solid object. It can be a square, a sphere, cone, or whatever you'd like. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna do a cone. Draw it out the shape you like. I mean, it can be longer, taller, whatever you prefer. Once you have that accomplished, we're gonna go to our top view, and we're gonna draw some splines over here on the side. So I'm using spline command, which is up here, and I'm just selecting points, and I'm clicking enter to get out of the command, and enter again to get back into it. Well, that's bad. What you guys need to understand is these lines have to be larger than your object. So if I actually, later on, we're going to move it over it, and they have to be cutting right across the whole object. So when you do these, make sure that that's correct, that they're larger than this. If you need to stretch them out later on, that's easy. All I have to do is drag that line, select the line, and drag the blue endpoint. Don't do too many, because then, yeah, do 3 lines or so, something like that. Works perfectly. Once you have that established, what you're going to do is you can rotate it to an isometric view, or you can go to view and go to 3D views, isometric. You prefer that, or you can use the box up here. What we're going to do next is we're going to extrude these lines up. Now don't worry that they're not closed. We're not making solids, we're only making surfaces. And you can select all of them. It doesn't really matter. So you're going to do extrude. You can type in EXT for shorthand. Select the objects and click enter because that's all the ones I want to select. And we extrude up like that. Alright, so I have something like this. Now hopefully everybody has that. I'm going to go around and make sure. Once you have this completed, what you want to do is move the spline of the surfaces to make them at the solid object at the center of the surfaces. So I'm using a move command, moving it over. Now you can either do F8 and then just move it over based on the Y-X coordinates, and then move it down based on the Z coordinates once you have it at centered. You can rotate it around. That's about centered. If you don't like that, you can move it a little bit more. And then you got to select those and move them down a little bit. You can use the Z axis over here, the blue arrow will help you move up and down. So that's perfect. So now if I rotate it around, you guys can see that my object is almost in perfect center. Once you have this done, what you're going to be doing is using the slice command that we just had some experience with, and you're going to use the surfaces to slice your triangle. So it might be easier to do it from top view. It's up to you for preference. But what you want to do is go to slice, which is up here, or you can go to modify, 3D operations, slice, or you can type it in. Slice, and now it's asking you to select an object. You select the triangle first, and then it's going to ask you if you want to select any more objects. No, that's it. So I click enter. The next option is asking me, do you want to draw a line, or do you want to select one of these options? And we're going to select the S for surface. So you just type in S, enter for surface, and now it's going to ask you to select the surface. Select the surface. I'm going to select this one here. Make sure you don't reselect them all. I mean, or you can actually, yeah, you do that one first. You click enter. It's asking if you want to keep both. Yes, I do. So it's going to slice it from this whole area right here, these two pieces. Click enter. You can see one is right here. We're actually going to change the color for you guys. Annotation. No, wait. Where's my? Whoa, where are we? I'm so used to. Manage property express. I don't even remember where. So I'm going to use properties. So I don't feel like going through. Okay, so you can see I have two different colors. You guys can do this too. Change the colors so you know which ones you did. Alright, we're going to go back to slice again. Select this object and this object because there's two of them now. Click enter. You're going to type in S for surface. Enter. Select the second surface, which is this one.
We select only one surface at a time. We slice through it.
You can.
Select all three at once.
Yeah, it's not working.
It won't let you do that.
Yeah.
Just one at a time.
Well, actually, oh no, wait, yeah, only one at a time. So I selected two surfaces and it didn't work. But you can see that this one was used, and this one was cut into two, and this piece was cut into two. But change the colors again. You got a blue one, and red. Well, that's red, so purple. Wow, that's a horrible color. All right. Finally, we have one more to do. So I go to slice. I'm going to select this one, this one, this one. This surface is going through all three of them. It's not going through this little piece. So I'm not going to even bother selecting that one. I'm going to click enter. I'm going to type in S for surface. I'm going to select that surface I'm using. And it's going to ask me, do I want to keep both? Yes. So I click enter. And it's going to ask me again. For each piece it's highlighted, it's asking, do you want to keep both? Yes. And then do you want to keep both for the blue one? Yes. So that's why there's three yeses, or enters. Now I can change these colors too. I'm running out of colors though. I get yellow. I'm gonna get some other cool color, orange and black. There we go, like that. So I have all these different colors. Now, if you think about it, it's actually a puzzle already. I'm gonna make a copy of this so you guys can see it. You don't have to do this. You can actually make it more complex. So if we, let's say, had the 3D printer and you had some kid at home that likes to play with puzzles, tell him to make a cone out of this. And so it's like that. The other option is you can actually take these surfaces, if you want to make it even more complex. I'm take these surfaces, I'm going to go to Modify, 3D Operations, 3D Rotate. I'm going to actually rotate it based upon the X or Y coordinate. Yeah, that would work. So it rotates it in the center. Now it doesn't look like, well, actually it is pretty center. But I'm going to lower it a little bit because I think it's a little too high. So I'm going to move, I'm going to go down like so. At this point, you can once again use the surface to slice the solids. And I believe actually you could slice more than one. Well, actually, yeah, you select the whole thing. So if you want to go a lot more complex and give it to some adult to play with, you can go to your slice command to select the whole object, but not the surface, so you gotta be careful with that. Click enter, type in S for surface, you select your surface, enter, there we go. Select the surface, keep both, yes, 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 yes. Let it load because it's gonna, sometimes it takes too long. Oops, two failed. That's really weird. I don't know which failed. I think they're both fine. But yeah, once you get, the only thing you have to worry about this when you're doing this complex stuff is if you get really small pieces like that. That's gonna be really, well, that one's, once it gets sliced, it's gonna be even smaller. So that's the only thing you have to worry about. Like here, these are 3 pieces that you're gonna have. There's gonna be one little piece here. But hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. So that's basically how you use slice to make a small puzzle.